What is good, y'all? It has been an amazing day, and thank you for being here with me this evening, or whatever time of the day it is for you. I was like, did I put this bracelet on upside down? But I didn't. It's right side up. I hope that you're feeling immaculate in this moment that you are in. I hope the 12-hour period before reaching this video was good. Excuse me. I am a little gassy because I had pizza and didn't have any lactate. So there is that. So I might be burping a little bit through this video. I apologize for nothing because pizza's good. And a good friend of mine, of me and my sisters who we were hanging out with, was like, I'll treat you guys to some food. She is a blessing. So I sure as hell ate that pizza. I didn't think about it at all. I was just like, gimme the pizza. Put it in my gut. All right, I forgot my water bottle here. Usually I walk with my water bottle, but today I forgot it. Walked right out of the house, was halfway down the road and was like, no, I can't believe I forgot it. I was so bothered, y'all. I wanted to cry. I didn't realize how much water I drink during the day. So I finally have it. So right now, just take a moment to drink some water with me. Oh my God. I haven't had water all day. Oh my gosh. That's so good. So I am very excited because I took a bit of a spiritual trip early this morning. And when I got back from that spiritual trip, I was told that it is time. It is time for me to speak to some people directly. Hey, you. No, I can't do this again. No, it's time for me to speak to some people directly. And I have a couple of messages for you. I don't know if it's going to be the entire video, but I have some things that I need to tell you. So, we brought our handy dandy notebook. One day this is going to be a death note, but it won't be a death note. It'll be like a petty note or an inconvenience note. I had mentioned in one of my videos that I wish that instead of having death notebooks, you could have like a notebook that like mildly inconvenienced people or inconvenienced them a lot if they were being assholes to you. So like I could be like, oh man, this dude is giving me major attitude today. You know, his clothes are gonna fall off while he's in the middle of an important meeting, and then he's gonna proceed to shit his underwear and then close that and just be standing outside the building waiting for all the screams. I don't know. 3 minutes and 33 seconds as I say that. Sometimes I notice like mirror numbers like 101, 202, 303, etc. And then sometimes I see the triple digits, so 333, 444, 555, and I'll see those when I'm saying something really stupid. And I'm like, I wonder why I noticed those numbers when I was saying some fuck shit. Oh, okay, so here we go. I have a note. We have officially moved out of the period of time where the goal for me on my journey is to assist people in waking up. 4 minutes and 14 seconds as I say that. That is no longer where I'm at. My job, my spiritual job that I'm feeling, is now to move along with a particular set of the collective, a subcategory, because there is a whole collective and then there are different, like, you know, little groups within the collective. And if you're seeing this video, most likely you are a part of the group of the collective that is already, in some capacity, awake. You are aware. 4 minutes and 44 seconds as I say that. You are aware of the things that are happening around you. You're aware of your spirit. You're aware of where you need to be. You're aware that there is some type of power in you. You may not be 100% locked in, but you're pretty much through the door, if you will. You're not all the way in the club, but you entered the door. They closed the door. They said, we're not letting nobody else in. And you're like, ooh, barely made it. No, I'm just kidding. But either way, you in this bitch now. So, the message that I have for you from Spirit today is as follows. You, who's watching this right now, 5 minutes and 23 seconds, as I'm about to say this, you have a gift. You have multiple gifts. And it's time for you to step into the vacant seats that motivate and inspire people. And by vacant seats, I mean, again, I had said this before in a different video that I did. And it's that there are people who are being strategically moved out of the way so that new people can come in. There have been A-list celebrities, and then like B tier and C tier, and then, influencers here online, who have been doing work and who have been influencing and being in the public eye and having a platform for many years now. And as you're probably noticing, 6 minutes and 6 seconds, you're probably noticing that a lot of those people, a lot of their evil deeds, if you will, are being found out. A lot of shit that they've been doing has come to light. And now that it's come to light, a lot of people are falling out of favor with the public. Because contrary to popular belief, there is a mass movement of people who are looking for authenticity in their content. They're tired. You may be one of these people where you're tired of following people who are fake. They're fake. They're putting on a front all the time. You never know what they say, if it's true or not. And you're just like, I'm just looking for somebody who's real. They don't have to be any particular way. They don't have to always be looking good. They don't have to always be doing anything. I'm just looking for some real content, some real people who talk about real shit. And if you're one of these people, congratulations, because that's actually it's a pretty cool place to get to. When you become bored with the same type of content that's just fakey. I remember for a long time, I used to be very into certain celebrities' business. I was following them all the time. I wanted to know when they had a baby. I wanted to know every breakup. I wanted to know what was going on. It wasn't very many celebrities. It was maybe like 2 or 3. But then at some point, I got to a point where I was like, well, what they're doing doesn't really have anything to do with me. And what I meant was the life that they were living, the type of content that they didn't really connect with me at all. They're dealing with, millions of dollars, and they're dealing with issues like, oh, I lost my ring, or, oh, this person broke up with me, and now I'm dating his brother. Like there's all of this drama that was happening in Hollywood, and I just became very uninterested in it. I wasn't thinking necessarily that it was bad per se. I don't judge anybody who is interested in celebrity lifestyle, who follows certain companies and who, will follow a band. Like those in themselves are not bad things, right? They're just things that we do. But at a certain point, I feel like everybody who gets to a point where they kind of wake up, become less and less interested in what the masses are kind of going with. And the masses tend to be very interested in being distracted from their everyday life. They're not really looking for anything that's too authentic because it might hit too close to home for them. But you, my glowing cherub that are watching this video right now, and maybe you've been following my other videos, you've subscribed and you've just been here for various reasons, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't done any work at all. Well, the thing about it is, the cool thing about the metaphysical world is that oftentimes, if you've been thinking about it, if it's crossed your mind and you've considered and you've asked yourself a couple questions, 9 minutes and 9 seconds, as I say this, you are on the path. It doesn't always take a big thing to get there. Sometimes the awareness is, man, I don't like the life that I'm living. I wonder what else I could do. And that question alone puts you ahead of so many people. So many people. And by ahead, I don't mean that it's a race. Ahead meaning that you are... Excuse me. My ear is bothering me. Ooh. Not ahead as in it's a competition, but ahead as in you're moving at a pace that's a bit faster than what other people are doing. Other people are kind of like, oh, you have to be successful, you have to get here, 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 and here. And you are being successful in a way that truly is more fulfilling to you. That's where you're at. Excuse me. I'm going to have some more water. It is currently around midnight here at the time that I'm recording this. We just got back, my sister and I, from hanging out with some friends, and it was filled with laughter, filled with fun. And so as you can tell, I'm a little tired, but I am so happy to be here. 10 minutes and 23 seconds as I say that. I am so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here with you, my love. I consider myself lucky and blessed to be at this point in my journey where I get to share stuff with you guys, where I get downloads. What's gonna suck is, because I didn't drink any water today until just now, I'll be getting up every couple hours to go to the bathroom. That's gonna suck, but you do what you gotta do when you want to get your water in. So, I have more. You are fully equipped, you are fully equipped and capable of what your spirit seeks as you move. Your spirit is seeking something. That's part of the reason that you are watching this video right now. Again, even people who followed me for other videos that I've done, your spirit, there are no mistakes. If you are watching a video and you're sitting there and you are ingesting this content on some subconscious level, or maybe also conscious level, you have decided that you're going to do things differently. And for that, excuse me, brava. So proud of you. Your job, should you choose to accept it, is to watch your thoughts. Don't try to control them. Simply observe your thoughts. Notice what your reoccurring thoughts tend to be, and what those look like and what those feel like. This came to me super tough, and I believe the reason that it's important for you to be in this headspace is because now that you're aware that you're looking for the change, now that you're aware that you want to be awake, and typically when I'm saying awake, I just mean aware. That's it. I don't mean anything that's like super duper deep. I don't mean that you're, out here flying through the sky or, reading people's minds and having telepathy. But if you can do that, that's super dope. Keep that shit to yourself. Do not make that super popular information, because we know how the government would react to that information. So keep that shit to yourself. But we all saw X-Men. We saw X-Men. We know how this works. But right now, I am being moved to tell you that now is a crucial time. As you are wanting to make these changes, the first thing that you want to start focusing on right now in your space is being aware of what your thoughts look like. 13 minutes and 13 seconds as I say this. Notice the thoughts that tend to repeat. What are you hearing? Are you hearing negativity that your mind is saying about you? Oh, I'm not strong enough to do that, or I'm not confident enough to do that, or, maybe it's some other point when I have the money. I don't know who said that. But you ain't got to wait for that. The amount of people that I've heard tell me, oh, well, I don't want to do this just yet. I want to wait for this other thing. I'm like, why? Why are you waiting? And if you're having those thoughts where you feel like you have to wait, that is an opportunity for you to explore. I cannot tell you why you're thinking that. Only you know why you're thinking that. So, notice what your reoccurring thoughts tend to be. Treat those thoughts like water in a stream and simply notice when repeats. My handwriting is chicken scratch, sorry. Treat those thoughts like water in a stream and simply notice what repeat items you see. Your mind is a tool, and you can make it work for you. You are essentially going to notice the flow of your thoughts and begin to shift it to a different state, or rather, a state that better supports your goals. The time for you to move with purpose is now. You've got a few physical things to take care of. Some family members you have need to be checked firmly but in kind. Some of you, and I'm getting that there are a lot of mothers. I'm getting there a lot of mothers, and I'm not sure why that is, but a lot of your moms, it is time for you to stop coddling, and it is time for you to check them again firmly but kindly. Some of you not so kindly. But for the majority of what I'm seeing, you need to check your mom. 15 minutes and 15 seconds as I say this, because there has been a habit that has been created up until this point where she feels like she has the ability to tell you how to live your life. And you are in a place where you are currently and or about to be breaking generational curses. And one of the first things you need to do is do what your mother probably didn't do, which is to speak out on what is actually important to you and what your values are and what your ethics are and how, what type of relationship you want to have with your mother. Yeah, so the reason you are currently being moved, 15 minutes and 55 seconds as I say this, the reason why you are currently being moved in this time to notice your thoughts, to see the stream, and to gently shift it is because the goal right now is not to try and, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not trying to strong arm this. The brain is a tool, but it is also a delicate tool. So this is not a situation where you want to try to force yourself to do anything. You want to be kind and compassionate to your body. It's going to respond better that way. It's going to respond to love. It's going to respond to kindness. So that's what you want to give yourself. You're essentially, like I said, you're going to notice your thoughts in a, I think if I do it this way, it makes more sense in the video. A stream, because technically this is for me, this is right to left. But for you all, well, I don't know. But anyways, you're essentially noticing a stream of conscious thought. And if those thoughts are not thoughts that make you feel good, they're not thoughts that are serving you right now and supporting the goals of your spirit, the things that make you feel fulfilled, it's time for you to slowly adjust those thoughts. Start a little at a time and start changing the thoughts that you have. 17 minutes and 17 seconds as I say this. So instead of saying, oh my gosh, how can it get any worse? Say, I wonder how much better this can get. Start thinking, I wonder, I fucking love when this happens. This is my favorite thing. When I forget a fucking thought, I love that. Like having my stream of thought interrupted because my brain just decides to take a fucking hiatus is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. That's crazy. It's not like I wanted to remember anything that I was saying. It's not like the people wanted to hear that. Bullshit. That's crazy. How do you forget what you're saying in the middle of what you're saying? I don't understand. Let me drink some water. You better fix my life, you little shit. When you're having certain thoughts that are not wonderful and worthy of you, certain thoughts that maybe feel negative or vibrating low, we're going to start switching up those phrases. And at first it's going to feel like a lie. At first it's going to feel like it's fake, but this is one of those situations where you are to fake it until you make it. The more you say something, the truer it becomes. This is how the mind works. The mind is going to fight you for a while because you are used to feeding it certain data. And so the brain does what we in the business call, the brain uses heuristics. I believe that is the phrase. If I'm wrong, you can put that in the comments and we can all have a big ol' ha 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 at the fact that I couldn't remember what the word was. But what I remember is that heuristics essentially are when your brain decides to take a shortcut to information. So if the brain perceives a situation and it is similar to something that has happened in the past, it completely bypasses the entire situation and comes to a decided judgment of it. So, for example, if you are dealing with, say, somebody who's caught, everybody who, this is an example, everybody who you've met who wears a red shirt always cusses you out when they see you. Then whenever you wear a red shirt, your brain is automatically going to go, oh, that's not for me. because I get cussed out every time I see somebody in a red shirt. And so then that becomes the thought. And then it'll get to the point where you're not even thinking about it. You just see people in red shirts and you avoid them. So what we're doing is you're going to be retraining your mind. And again, this is going to feel a little hard at first because as you are observing your thought, you're going to realize how many thoughts in a day you actually have. A lot of you who are new to the spiritual walk and the metaphysical path, welcome. 20 minutes and 20 seconds as I say that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There is much love for you here. There is much support for you here. I, for one, am not going to bullshit you. If I am ever in a situation where for any reason I engage with anybody on here on a spiritual level, I'm not bullshitting you. If you ask me a question and I am moved to answer that question, I'm giving you what I feel and I'm giving you the real of what is going on. I'm not always going to tell you what you want to hear. That's not my page. That's not what I do. I like to motivate. I like to inspire. It's something that I enjoy doing. But frequently on my walk, I have been moved to tell people, hey, yo, you're going to have to do this thing that's going to make you uncomfortable. And if you don't do this thing that makes you uncomfortable, you're not going to get any closer to what you're trying to accomplish. You know, sometimes your toes are going to get stepped on. That's kind of the nature of the spiritual walk, is that you are constantly being made aware and more aware of the things that you do that are holding you back. The limiting beliefs, the doubts, you know. That's one of the reasons that I'm here. I mean, I'm here to entertain also, and I'm here primarily to be authentic and to enjoy these, the process of doing these videos. But I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think and exactly what I feel. And for this, when I got this message today, my first thought was, okay, so the majority of people who are probably going to end up watching this video are people who have been doing a little bit of dabbling, a little bit of research in the metaphysical. They're ready to get going, but they have no idea how to focus their minds. If I'm breathing weird, it's because I spent a lot of time with my friend. She has a cat, and I am actually allergic to cats. I did not take Zyrtec like I usually do, and so I actually the allergy actually ends up triggering 22 minutes and 22 seconds as I'm saying this. So somebody here has asthmatic bronchitis and is also maybe allergic to cats. How you doing? But the person who's allergic to cats most likely also loves cats. So you do what I do, which is whenever you're in a room, cats seem to find you and they want to sit on your chest and be where you are, and you don't want to move them, so then you just body the allergies. So if I'm breathing weird and I have shortness of breath, that is why. It's going to fade. It usually goes away. Honestly, if I lived with a cat, it wouldn't be this bad because it would be consistent. But I don't go to her apartment all the time, so that's why my breathing is a little labored, if you've noticed. But I'm feeling good. I'm okay. I say that because I know a couple of people that I know watch my videos, and I know I will get a nervous text being like, hey, why were you breathing weird in your video? So I just wanted to say that. I'm good. But yeah, so you're gonna notice your thoughts, and you're gonna be like, damn, I be thinking a lot. We do. It's what we do. It's what the brain does, and I love it. But the thoughts that you're continuing to think right now are maybe not the best thoughts for what you're trying to accomplish in your life. For example, there's somebody who's watching this stuff who wants to produce music. In particular, I'm getting that there is somebody who wants to produce hip-hop music in particular. And for you, I'm getting a lot of, I have to achieve this. And the reason why you have to achieve it is because you're not in a really great place right now. And something that I want you to remember, the person who is feeling and thinking this right now, the thing I want you to remember is that we do better, and spirit does better when the basis of your wants and desires comes from love, not fear and lack. If you are trying to achieve things because you are afraid of an alternative outcome, that is not necessarily going to get you where you want to be. Or it'll get you to where you want to go, but you're going to be just as stressed, if not more, because you're trying to maintain why you got there. Something that Kevin Hart said in one of his interviews that I thought was really interesting was that he had this mentality of, I have to get out. I have to make sure that I never go broke, because that was an experience that he had. And so then once he got to a higher level, he then said in an interview, but the problem is I'm still afraid of being broke. So you've got all this money, you've got all this time that you can spend with your family, but then you're still worried about what happens if the other shoe is going to drop. For the people watching this video, that's not the life that you want. What I'm getting is that the life that you want is one where you enjoy the things that you have, you're able to spend time with people, and you can do so without constantly having to look over your shoulder or constantly being afraid that the other shoe, if you will, is going to drop. So this is why this particular part of your journey is going to be very crucial, because what you're going to do is you're going to train your brain to be better, and then it's going to make the rest of this journey that you do in this lifetime so much easier, my love. It's going to make it so much easier. This is going to be a difficult task at first. I'm not going to hold you on this. When I first started, excuse me, when I first started, it was exhausting. I was tired a lot, so you will be tired a lot as you're doing this. I just want to give you all the information, baby. Again, at any point, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. If at any point you are exhausted, if at any point you're tired and you're like, I'm tired of this, Grandpa, I'm not going to be looking at you like, well, it's too damn bad. You keep digging. You'll thank me one day. I loved Holes. It was such a good movie. With Shia LaBeouf and Cleo Thomas and Sigourney Weaver. It's a good movie. But this part is going to be a challenge. There's some of you watching this video, you're very excited. You're like, oh my gosh, it's my anime arc. I'm fucking ready to go. And I'm so hyped to know that there are those of you who are thinking that. Because yes, that's what this is going to feel like. You're going to feel like Goku. You're going to feel like you're fucking training and you're about to whoop the ass of life. You're about to whoop life's ass. You're really about to get in here and live life. And I'm very, very excited for you. I just got a visual of like a bunch of y'all in the gym and the normal gym people being like, what the fuck? And y'all are like, I'm not only getting my spiritual gains up, but I'm getting my physical gains. I'm fucking dead. Can you imagine just a bunch of people in the gym listening to like really calm music, but they're just like they're just pumping and going the fuck off. I love my brain. I get a lot of visuals when I'm talking about things. I see it in my mind, and that shit kills me. Like, I had to wash an ant down the sink earlier, and I told it, I was like, I'm sorry, buddy, but you gotta go. And in my mind, I just imagined him flicking me off, and I was like, wow, fucking rude. And I was actually talking to this ant, and then I rinsed him down the drain, and I was like, fuck you, bitch. You gonna flick me off? Oh my god, I'm so tired. But anyways, yes. I'm very proud of those of you who are excited to get things going and you've been chomping at the bit for something new. You're tired of doing the same cycles over and over again. You've decided already you're in this place. For those of you who've decided that you want to do something different and this is the journey that you're on, but you are afraid that it's going to be tough, let me just tell you, anything worth doing is going to be a little challenging. It's not going to be impossible, but it is going to challenge you a little bit. Because that's what's going to make it worth it. If everything was handed to you and it was super easy all the time, yeah, it'd be great, but then eventually you would have no context for how great that is. You wouldn't think, oh, this is great that I get things easy. It would become an expectation, which would lead to a lack of gratitude. And then that would lead to other problems. So this part being challenging for you is so great and it's so important, and I'm so excited. There's no wonder that this year, 2025, the overall spirit number is 9. So it is the closing and it is the beginning for a lot of people. And if you're watching this video, it is your beginning, and I'm very, very excited. I remember in another one of my videos, I was essentially telling people to wake up and to come forward. And there are going to be people who watch that video and they are going to step into their power, and they're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy. This is new. 29 minutes and 29 seconds as I say this. And they're going to be like, so what do I do? So if you're watching this video and you're like, wait, no, I'm not at that point yet, one of my other videos, I can't remember what the title was, but one of my other videos was I'm pretty sure in the title it says that I have a message for you. Usually if I get downloads like this, I will put it in the title so that y'all can find it. I don't remember which video it was. If I find it tomorrow, because after this, I'm going to fuck to sleep because I'm tired. But after this, I might go back and find that and then put it in the description or something, or maybe try to put the link of the video. I'd be confused. I don't know how to do this shit. I'll try to see what I could do to make that easier for you to find if you need it. But yeah, for some of you, this is going to be a bit challenging, especially the checking your mom part. A lot of your mothers are amazing women and they care about you and they love you, and they bring that up anytime you have an argument. They bring up how they carried you for 9 months. They bring up how they worked so hard to put a roof over your head. They bring up how, you know, especially those of you who have single mothers who are currently, they've worked really hard, and that hard work is what they are using to justify bad behavior and inappropriate behavior, where they are crossing over your boundaries or where they are not respecting any boundaries that you have at all. And if that is the case, again, be patient with yourself. If you've never checked your parent, your parental figure before in this way, just know you will be nervous, especially if you are a people pleaser. If you're a person who's just never cared to check your mother, and you've been like, oh, you know, it's kind of whatever, I'm not at the house anyways, it's probably going to be easier for you because it's less that you are afraid. But for those of you who, like me, are recovering or healing people pleasers, this is going to be a bit uncomfortable for you. That's a lie. It's going to be very uncomfortable for you. You may get that familiar shakiness in your chest, the nervousness in your stomach, and you might feel like this is going to break my relationship with my mom, especially if there are those of you who are really close to your mom. Here's the thing. This walk, this metaphysical walk, is tough, but it is rewarding. On the other side of these really uncomfortable moments comes a clarity that not only you have, but the people around you will begin to see because of your dedication. Every person who is living their truth causes a ripple effect that affects other people who are dying to live their truth, but they don't have it in them to just do it, maybe like you do. You know? Each one of us is usually inspired by somebody. For me, my dad was a huge inspiration. There were a lot of other inspirations in my life that brought me to where I am and that have me doing these videos literally every night, even though some nights I'm dog tired. It's a part of the process. I'm super grateful for the process. I'm gonna have some more water. Water break. And I apologize for jumping all around the place as I'm doing this video. I didn't expect to be this animated because when I got in this closet, I was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. So I'm sorry if I'm jumping and cutting myself off and not finishing thoughts. I feel like the people who need to get what they need to get are gonna get what they need to get from this. It doesn't have to be perfect. But yes, so you're going to be looking at your thoughts, and you're going to be replacing negative and limiting thoughts with thoughts that are positive and with thoughts that empower you. That's what we're going to do. So, one of the ways to do this, I recommend, go to some form of AI and type in a phrase and say, give me a phrase that is the opposite of this that is empowering. It will give it to you. I would pull up an example right now if I wasn't using my phone to record. And also, welcome to those of you who are new here. I got quite a few subscribers the other night, and quite a few meaning like 3 or 4. And again, welcome to those of you who are new. It's so good to see you. Yes, this is kind of how all over the place these videos tend to be. This video is a bit of an oddity because I don't usually have messages like this. Usually I'm just kind of going through my day and talking about my life and my special interests. But I was moved to share that message in particular with the people watching this video. So you have a gift, you have multiple gifts, And it's time for you to step into those vacant seats. There are vacant seats. 34 minutes and 34 seconds as I'm saying this. At the time that you are watching this, there is a vacant seat that is a platform where your message that you are going to share with the world, and a lot of you are like, I have no idea what my message is. Your message is your lived experience. You are a walking, talking, breathing ministry. That is what you are. By living and existing, you are going to change the lives of other people. There are so many people out there who believe that they are alone in the experience that they have, and you're going to be one of the people that shows them that that's not true. So there is a vacant seat for you up here, ready for you already. It has been prepared. I go to prepare a place, not me, but Spirit has gone to prepare a place for you, and that place is ready for you. So now that it's ready for you, it's time for you to step into that place. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is through the rewiring of thought. I think that's all I had for that message in particular. The time is definitely now. Spirit does not like delay. And I get it. It's like, well, Spirit be taking forever to give me my shit. I have felt that way so many times. But when it comes to situations that happen, Spirit prefers direct, or not direct, but quick movement. When you are moved to do something or an idea hits you, move on it. Do not hesitate. Move on it. That momentum will start going, and it's going to be magical. It's going to be a magical experience. I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you because some of you watching this video are going to be producing music and getting it on Spotify, and it's going to blow up, and it's going to be amazing because it's going to be catchy, it's going to be authentic, it's going to be real, and there are going to be people in the audience at your concerts telling you how you changed their life because you shared something incredibly intimate and that was very profound for them. Some of you are going to write novels. You have ideas for novels and you struggle right now with getting those things produced for whatever reason. As you are moving to do that, you are going to get nudges about that process. You are to follow those nudges. Follow them. Research what you need to research. I'm all about research, bro. Because for me, every little thing that you do puts energy out there towards the thing that you're doing. So if you just have a 15-minute period where you look up some software that you can use to produce music that's for cheap, you have essentially put out into the universe that this is what I want to do. So, with that being said, that is my message that I intended to put in here. You guys really are special. You really are special. You are some special ass people. And even the comments that I've been reading, I can tell. Like when I'm reading your comments, I see life in them. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but have you ever watched a YouTube video and you read the comments, and when you're reading the comments, there almost seems to be no life in them? It's almost as if it was written by a shell of a person. And it's because the comment doesn't have any, again, it's hard to explain, but there's a lack of life. But then you all, when you put comments under my videos, even if they're just emojis, it's weird. I can feel that there's a person there. It's the weirdest thing. Other than explaining it like that, I don't know how else to explain it. But I'm super duper excited, man. Let me make sure that I got all of that out. I don't wanna. You have a gift. Your story is going to motivate and inspire people. I, for many years, thought I don't have enough trauma to be interesting enough to motivate people. Because when I was growing up, the people that I saw who were popular or famous had drug problems. They had a situation where one of their parents had passed or one of their parents was in jail. Like, there was always something that was it was a big deal. It was something that was very traumatic for them. And I was like, well, I haven't gone through any of that. My story, compared to other people's stories, it is not as intense. And I was like, therefore, there's no way that I can inspire other people. There's no way that I can move them. And I'm grateful for the fact that I haven't had situations that have been super traumatizing and super duper triggering. I am blessed in that department. But when I was 16, 17, and I auditioned for American Idol, that whole process, I had doubts. I was like, I'm not interesting enough for America. America doesn't want to see this. And the truth of the matter is I was trying to mold myself to be something that I thought America wanted. And now, as I'm living my life, as I'm talking to people, as I move to speak to people when I'm out, people are wanting more authenticity. And so as a result, I moved to post these videos. And as a result, I'm getting positive feedback. And right now, I'm so grateful. Again, a larger content creator with 50,000 followers would look at my page and go, well, this person's not really doing much because she only has like 800 or so people that are subscribed to her page. At the time of recording this, that's how many I have, like 800 or so. And 40 minutes and 40 seconds. And 4 represents foundations, good foundations, and 0 represents new beginnings. So that's interesting. But for me, it's a big deal. If you have one person in your life that you meet and whose life you changed and who you inspired them to be their most authentic self, to me, that's incredible. To me, that's incredible. That's an incredible thing to do. Because each person is vibrating a frequency. Each person has their own energy, their own decisions that they're doing, their own lives that they live. And you don't realize how the ripple effect works. So it's like you inspire one person and that person has kids. And they decide to share with their kids how you inspired them. Those kids are then inspired. Then they share with their friends at school. And then maybe one of their friends shares it with their parents and their siblings. This is the domino effect of how authenticity actually works. My sister and I were driving, we were headed home from being out and hanging out, and we looked on the side of the road and somebody who was waiting to cross was dancing. Like, he was dancing and he had his hand like this and he was doing all of this. He was performing a whole concert, and we sat there and we cheered in the car because he was too far up for us to roll down the windows and, do anything. And also, this was pretty late at night, so my sister and I try not to engage with a lot of people at night when we're trying to head home for safety reasons. But we were both super inspired by him. And my sister was like, that's crazy. And I've shared it. I've shared it with so many different people, and they know. And I'm like, I love seeing people dance in public. Dance to a song that maybe they're listening to in their head or in their headphones. It's so inspiring to see human beings doing human being things. It's just really crazy. So, that you are fully equipped. Again, I want to make sure I repeat that because some people really don't feel like they are. Like, some of y'all really feel like you are trying to catch up. But the thing about being an authentic person is all it takes is you being honest with who you are. And I say all it takes as if it's easy. It's easier said than done. When you've spent your entire life lying to yourself, it's hard to then get honest about where you're at. So if you're feeling insecure, but you've always faked as though you're confident, when you're speaking to people, let them know. Let them know that you don't always feel confident. Let them know that you've had doubts. Again, this is about community. This is about connecting with people on a real level. And your content that you're going to put out there, whatever that content is, for those of you who are construction workers, for those of you who are on here and you are therapists, or you are nurses, or you work in customer service, or you work in marketing. Any of you doing these jobs, it is the same type of impact. You don't have to be doing jobs that are specifically in entertainment. I tend to lead heavy on those jobs because a lot of people who should be out here in entertainment, I'm talking to you. A lot of people who should be out here aren't because they feel like they don't have the skills. They feel like they're not capable, but you are. You are 100% capable. Remember, there are people who've gotten famous off of doing nothing. They've literally done nothing. They were just there in the right place at the right time, and you have important content to share. So when you start getting on it and you start putting out content, that content will start getting people at the right place and at the right time. But you got to start getting it out there, my love. So, reoccurring thoughts, changing your thing, the time for you to move is now. Yeah, I think that's all I have as far as that goes. So, that's been shared. I feel really good about that. Like I said, I'm probably going to watch this video back tomorrow and see how all over the place it is. But there it is for you in a nutshell, is what I was moved to share with you. It's time to move. It is a call to action, if you will. A call for you to live a life, to start, or not to start because you've already started, you know, but to move forward with living a life that makes you happy, that makes you proud. Something that when you are up there in old age, you can look back and be like, damn, I ate that. I did that. Sleigh boots the house down. Like, I made it happen. So yeah, again, I want to share my deepest thank you to those of you, 45 minutes and 45 seconds as I say this. I want to share my deepest thank you to those of you who are following me, to those of you who like my videos, and to those of you who comment. I say this all the time because I am a really grateful person. At this point in my life, I really do my hardest to not let moments go by where I'm not grateful for, almost spilled my water. To let moments go by where I don't voice how grateful I am. And this is something that my parents instilled in me when I was very young. When I would get birthday presents and I was like 2-3 years old, they would be like, tell them that you said thank you, that you love it. And I would say, oh my gosh, thanks, I loved it. That was my thing. Thanks, I love it. And I did love it. I loved it a lot. It was amazing. Whatever it was. I remember I had a toy caterpillar and it was amazing. And it was one of those little like things that you sat on that you rocked back and forth. I remember it. I have no idea where it went. There's so many toys that I had when I was a child that are gone in the wind, and I wish I knew where they were. I wish I still had them, honestly, for the nostalgia. But as a result, I do my best. I'm not perfect, and I don't always do it, but I do my best to try to let the people who provide things to me, I try to let them know that I appreciate it greatly, because you do not have to. You do not have to. You don't have to. There was a period of time where I was asking everybody, please like, subscribe. Like I was literally out here. I was literally out here fiending. I was like, please, any crumb, please. But now it's less like that, and it's more, I just appreciate you all being here. Again, I see some of my videos have hundreds of views, and I know that some of it's probably people who click on my video by mistake, but some of it's people who are just lurking. They have no comment, they don't seek to subscribe, and they don't seek to like, and I appreciate even those people for being here. Because seeing it gives me a little boost for me to do more. I intend to do these every night because that's what I'm moved to do. But I would be lying if I said that I didn't look at the views and I didn't wish that things would, kind of take off sometimes. But again, I want things to happen exactly as they should. I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to make anything happen that doesn't need to happen. If it's one of those things where these videos are for a specific collective of people and I don't get large numbers, I am so okay with that. I'm so okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I really am just grateful to be here. Because there was a very long period of time. There were many years that I was not happy to be here, and I didn't want to be here. 48 minutes and 48 seconds as I say that. So if you're one of these people who you are just now discovering that there's a reason for you to be here, I'm so happy for you. And if you haven't discovered that reason yet, I would say hold on. Look around and explore a little bit more, because there you'd be surprised at the things that you would lock into that give you a reason to stick around and to see how good it can get. That's what I was going to say like 40 minutes ago. Tell the universe, I want to see how good it can get. Tell spirit, I'd like to see how good it can get. And I don't want to see it in just other people's lives. I want to be shown in my own life how good it can get. Instead of thinking, oh, can it get any worse? That's what I was saying. Instead of thinking, how could it get any worse? Flip that phrase to say, universe, show me how good it can get. I want to see. I want to see. You can also ask for confirmations. If you are wanting to do something and you have the time and you're contemplating it, ask for confirmations. Ask, say, I want to see this color butterfly, or I want to have this phrase spoken to me. Put it to work. Put it to work. That's what I'm all about. Or it's not really what I'm all about, but it's something that I definitely do in my personal life. I'll usually say, I want to see this. It's something that is realistic, so it's something that if I see it, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I saw it, but it's realistic. I'm not going to be like, okay, so I want to see a suitcase, a gold suitcase with balloons hanging off it, $1 million in the parking space in my apartment complex that I walk by every day tomorrow at 7. Realistically, that's a lot. That's a lot to expect. Even for me, a person who thinks about having abundance and is very much so believing and knowing when things are going to happen, that's a lot even for me. So it's got to be something that's believable for you. It's got to be something that you know can happen. And then you build it over time. So it goes from knowing a small thing can happen to knowing a medium thing can happen to then knowing that a big thing can happen. Man, I really do feel like I'm all over the place because my consciousness is kind of peeking in and out as I'm talking. I'm almost out of water. I didn't realize I was drinking that much. But yes. Man, I tell you, it was a long day today. I did a tarot card reading, or like an oracle card reading for the first time in quite a while. I haven't been moved to do them a lot. And it was very promising. I got a card that was essentially good fortune, where it says the wheel of luck is shining upon me, so to stay in a good mental headspace. I also got a card that was, what was it? It was the good card. I also got the card that represents Maat, or Isis, the goddess of balance. So, the goddess of giving and receiving, and how that is spiritual law. So being a person, if you're constantly giving and you never receive, and you're only giving ever, you're stuck in a place of martyrdom. If you're only ever receiving and you never give, you're stuck in a place of selfishness. So the goal is to be balanced, to where you're giving of yourself and you're giving of the things that you have, but you're also able to be in a sacred place where you receive, because receiving is also healthy. It's like, if you are a person who loves to give but nobody would want to receive, then you wouldn't really be able to give to people. So that's why it's a balance. It's a whole balancing thing. So I had that. So it was saying you are out of alignment, and I was like, okay, damn, chill. But it's because I have not been in a place of receiving. I'm so used to giving. In these videos, I tend to give of my time. I tend to give of my, advice. Now, I do receive from this process as well. So I think that's why doing these videos doesn't exhaust me, and why I look forward to doing it every night. Because even though in the moment it's just me talking to my camera, I'm still getting something out of it. But during the day, usually I'm very quick to do things for other people, but when there are opportunities for people to give to me, or for me to ask for something from someone, I oftentimes shy away from it, because receiving does make me uncomfortable, because I was raised in a religious environment where you should always be in a place of giving. And then, you're unbalanced in your spirit. So I was like, okay, I received that. I need to really work on being in a place of receiving, because being in the mental headspace of receiving actually communicates to spirit that you are ready for the things that you've asked for. 53 minutes and 53 seconds as I say that. You want to be in a place where you are comfortable receiving. So it's good if somebody gives something to you, if somebody holds the door for you, if you're talking to a friend and they take your call. Purpose somehow in your mind with a phrase that works for you, that you have just received, or that you are receiving from another person, so that you can see how good it feels to receive, and that receiving is not a bad thing, my love. It's not. Receiving is so good for you in the same way that giving is good for you. it's give and take. That's what the whole thing is. So I had those two cards, and then the last card I had was an etheric chords card, and apparently there were two what do you call them? What's the term? It's the chords that you have that are connected to you and other people. And you have to cut those sometimes. You have to cut those ties with people that, you know, or with relationships that no longer serve you. And I realized I had a very big one that I was still holding on to, and a small one that developed that I needed to get rid of. And I was able to process through that and work through that today and sever those ties. And it was a very exhausting experience, but I'm really glad that I did it, because for me, it's hard for me to not deal with people knowing that I could be helping them. And again, that's a portion of the whole giving thing, where I am overextending myself and am not really in a place where I'm receiving. And in the relationships that I severed those cords, in those relationships, I was receiving nothing. I wasn't receiving support. I wasn't receiving love. I wasn't receiving anything that was bettering me that I could use. I was giving pretty consistently. And there are a lot of you watching this video, you're used to giving. You're used to being a giver. Whether that be, oh, I got it. Oh, I'll take care of it. If you find that you're saying that a lot and you're not allowing people to take care of it for you, maybe something to look at. So it was a pretty emotional day spiritually, and then luckily I was able to hang out with my sister. There is an Oracle Fairy video excuse me, that I started, and literally the first 10 seconds of the video were really specific, and I was like, have you been following me? Like, I got very nervous. It made me very nervous. This is so interesting, because back when I was on TikTok, there used to be, I remember when the amount of tarot card readers skyrocketed. And everybody was always saying the same thing. It was always, ooh, your ex is coming back from the past, and they're, you know, regretting that they didn't have you, or that they didn't take care of you, or love is coming. It was always a love reading. It was always a love reading. And I think it's because a lot of people understood that people were all looking for connections and they were looking for love. So those types of creators were banking on people's desire to be told that love was coming towards them. So I would uninterest every tarot card reading that I saw, because I was like, it's super vague. This has nothing to do with me. And a lot of them will say, take what resonates for you and leave what doesn't. But there are a lot of people who say that, and then their content is specifically designed to please everyone. It's specifically designed to be like, you just are perfection personified and you don't have to do any work. And some of it is very toxic. Where they're essentially trying to hype you up on continuing to be ain't shit. I don't agree with that. I think that's wrong. I think that's like false advertising in some way, because then people roll into spiritual spaces and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. It's constantly love and light. No, it's not. Love and light is a portion, but there's also petty and darkness. There's also fuck off and darkness. It's a very balance. It takes all kinds. But it's not always going to be beautiful. It's not always going to be sexy. It's not always going to be a situation where you've got the beautiful crystals in the book and the candle and the incense and, you know, the sun shining through your window and you've got all this perfect stuff. No, sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes your makeup is messy and you're snotting everywhere and you're crying because your feelings are hurt, because you realize you have a toxic trait that's been fucking up every romantic relationship that you had. Sometimes that's what happens. It's a part of the process. Sometimes you're tired and you're doing a video and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to be here right now. But you know that you should do the video. You feel moved. You feel so moved to do it. Again, there's no one specific that comes to mind when I say this. I just noticed when I first got on TikTok, it was a lot. But then recently, because I used to not watch people that did tarot card readings, because again, they were super vague. But then Jadina, who was on YouTube, JHADINA, and then the Oracle Fairy are two people who are very locked in. They're very locked in. It's interesting because my intuition will say, don't watch this video that they posted. Scroll back through their page and find a video that was done during this particular month. And then it's exactly what I need to hear. So as you're, I moved to tell you, as you're doing this and as you're moving through your spiritual, listen to your intuition when it tells you where to go to seek information. Sometimes you're going to see videos on YouTube. You may even see my videos on YouTube. And if there is a video that is recommended to you and you look at it and you feel nothing, 59 minutes and 59 seconds as I say this, don't watch it. Because it's not for you. There are videos that are on here. There's content, there are articles, there are books, there are things that other people are like, man, this changed my life. You should read it too. Do not burn yourself out on taking in a shit ton of content because you are trying to make everything for you. Not everything is for you. In the Oracle Fairy's videos, she will do hour-long videos, essentially like this. Or I guess I'm doing hour-long videos like her because she was doing it way before I started doing it. And in her videos, there'll be a good chunk that's not for me at all. And my intuition will say, forward it to this many seconds, or this many minutes and seconds in. And then I go, and it's exactly what I need to hear. It's exactly reflecting a situation that I'm having. And from that knowing, I immediately know what to do, intuitive-wise. Again, also, as you're focusing on your thoughts, be working with your intuition. Be working with feeling that internal voice and listening to that internal voice. Spend a little bit of time every day in some type of meditative state, whether that be that you go for a walk, whether that be you're pacing around your room with no music playing and just fans on or something. Find a way to lock into that inner voice that you have, because that is your internal guidance system. It is your GPS internally. An hour and 1 minute and 23 seconds as I say that. And that GPS is going to help you so much. I have definitely said this in another video of mine. I feel like there's a lot of information that I repeat, but it's because it's incredibly important. It's like at the beginning of every single video, I tell you to drink water. It's because drinking water is important. I'm not just doing it for me. Like, it's something you know, do it for you as well. This video feels all over the place. I don't actually feel like I've been 100% conscious this whole time. I don't know if you've had this where you've been talking and you kind of disassociate while you're talking. I've had multiple moments, so I'm definitely going to be watching this back for me to see if there's any information that I'm telling myself, because that happens. And then also to try and see what I've said, because I know that I didn't have a whole lot to say when I started this video. I know I probably repeated things a lot, but again, it's because it's really important for you to hear now at this time in your life, my love. I think that's all I have. Excuse me. When I tell y'all that you are beautiful and you're amazing and you're incredible, I mean that shit. I mean it. I mean it. I mean it. I have met some of the most beautiful people over the past 2 years. I've met them online. I've met them in person. I've met them over the phone when I've had to call a company to do something, and then I am talking to somebody and we realize we have a lot in common. I've met some beautiful people. And those of you who do leave comments and I read them, they're beautiful. They give me warm fuzzies inside. They do. Even comments where people aren't necessarily being the most positive, it still makes me feel good, because the fact that somebody decided to comment, because me, I'm a big fan of lurking. I don't be engaging with a lot of people's stuff. And I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. I think it's just because I'm used to chilling in the cut and not constantly doing things. Now, if the content's really good, I'm engaging because I want to see more of it. So, you know, when people say push the buttons, the reason they say that, if, you know, for those of you that don't know, if you like a video, if you comment on a video, or you subscribe to a channel, you are essentially telling YouTube's algorithm that you want more of this content. This is what you want to see. You want this particular person to grow in numbers, or you want more content like that on your page. So then it's not just the person, it's other pages similar to the person's page that you're wanting. So for me, I tend to subscribe to, what did I subscribe to today? It was a Lord of the Rings channel. that posted like content about Lord of the Rings. I didn't even know they existed until I went to find a song for the last video that I did, because I had said I wanted to send you guys a song. I wanted you guys to listen to it, and by send I mean put it in the description. And I found a page that had interesting like Lord of the Rings facts on YouTube, and I was like, let's fucking go, bro. So I immediately subscribed, and then it started giving me a bunch of other pages that also had that content, and I was like, yes. So if you want more content that's like this, that's done by other people, engage with it so that you can have what it is that you seek, and you know what it is that makes you feel good and what you desire and all that amazingness. But yeah, I really do love you guys. And I know it sounds like bullshit. I know. Because it's like, you don't even know me. You're saying that and I haven't engaged with your content. I'm just here lurking. But it doesn't matter. Because to me, we're all connected by that one force that I talked about. You know, the spirit which moves through us. It's above us, it's around us, it's inside of us, it's outside of us, it's everywhere. It's in the rocks, the trees, it's in the sky, it's in the wind, it's in the water, it's everywhere. It's in every human being that walks around. So when I say I love you, it's because I love me. I love the energy that is in this body. I love the energy that makes up this body. And I recognize me in other people. I recognize that energy in all the other people that I deal with. 5 minutes and 55 seconds as I say that. So I recognize when I meet people and I hug them in person, or I shake their hand, or I make eye contact with them, I'm like, this is a version of me. And I'm not meaning me as in this body. I'm meaning me as in the spirit that is running this show. So yeah, you guys are pretty beautiful and amazing. And again, I'll say it again for those of you who are new. If you are doing any content, or if you find anything interesting, if you have any recommendations of things to watch or things that you think that will be helpful, you know, especially any free resources for people, if you are so moved, please put those in the comments for other people who watch the video so that they can go and check it out. You know, whether it be projects that you're proud of or work that you've done or people that you know, any of that, any and all of that is appreciated, because I'm all about sharing information and getting it out to everybody. So yes, now I'm about to have the sleep of angels. I'm so excited. This sleep is about to hit. It's about to slap so hard, y'all. It's about to be amazing. So good, so good, so good. So good. This was a good video. Again, if it's bouncing around and it's confusing and it's a bit all over the place, I do apologize for those of you who are potentially going to struggle to keep up. But those of you who you were locked in and you're like, no, I feel you, it's right here. I don't know why just now as I was talking it started to sound weird. What's happening? You ever have moments where you feel like your frontal lobe is forming, like it's finishing, and you're like, what the fuck? Why? In closing, I'm really excited because I was watching a Poppy Playtime run through by Pezzy, and I watched the second one. I watched him play the second one with Mommy Longlegs. It's really good. Again, if you're into horror content, you should go look up anybody play Poppy Playtime because it's so good. It's so good. The colors, the lore, the music, the voice acting, it's so good. Get into it. So I'm excited because tomorrow when I wake up, I am probably going to watch him play the third one. Yes, the third one. Because the first one, yes, then the second one was, then the third one, yes. So I'll be watching him play the third one. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going. There's a lot of good stuff going. And sometimes I have thoughts of things to share with you all, and then I'm moved to wait. And I'm like, am I waiting because I'm checking with my spirit to see if I should say something? Or am I waiting because of another reason? Okay, that's not significant right now. But yes, so lock it in, guys. Lock it in with these thoughts and with monitoring your thoughts. And if it's hard, you can put in the comments how hard it is, because other people are probably going to share your frustration. If it's easy and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing, I would tell you buckle up, Spanky, because There are going to be some challenging moments, but we got this. We got this. I would love to create an anime where it's our collective doing shit. I would love to create an anime like that. I think that would be amazing. It would be an incredibly diverse anime, and like a bunch of different people would be represented in it, and then it could be about spiritual growth. If you are a person who does animation and you're looking to do a show, and that sounds like an amazing idea, that would be incredible. That's actually something I would love to work on with somebody. I don't do animation, but again, I would love to voice act. And I actually do like writing dialogue. I don't know why I moved to say that, but I do enjoy writing dialogue. I did not go to Full Sail for that. Again, I did the behind the scenes stuff. I did entertainment business, but I do a little bit of like other stuff just like for me, but I'm not trained to. So yeah. 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 That's what I got for you guys. Anyways, I hope you guys continue to have a great morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I hope you guys feel loved and blessed and taken care of. I hope that you're able to take a few minutes to just breathe and think and get your water in. And I think that is it for this evening. And I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no better way to better say I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night. Bye.